Hi, Wet Leg, Rhiannon and Hester. It's good to see you again. Welcome to Sirius XMU Sessions.
Thanks for having us.
So last we met up for listeners. Rhiannon and Hester and I had the pleasure of meeting in person when they were in New York on just a very exciting week of playing their first shows. And it was a bunch of shows, and it was before the surge, serendipitously before the COVID surge in New York. So everybody was out and doing stuff. And we also got together for another little interview. And, you know, this year here on the channel, we were introduced to their music with the song Chaise Longue and fell in love with it fast, and with every song they've shared since. And this performance includes some interesting different versions of tunes like Wet Dream. And I think let's start by talking about what were the first couple of songs that you did write that were that actually were considered Wet Leg songs. And also tell our listeners a bit about how you kind of went from playing Rianne's songs early on to realizing that you were going to do a band together.
Well, to answer the first part of the question, Chaise Longue and Wet Dream, like, they weren't written to be Wet Leg songs. They were just written just for the fun of it. We were just hanging out and we're like, oh, shall we make a song? And me, Hester, and her boyfriend Joshua made them together. They weren't ever really supposed to see the light of day.
But oh no, I feel late now. They're like
original
two songs from like day one of writing for Wet Leg.
So after you realized that these couple of songs you had written sort of for fun because you're all musicians and we're friends, and that sometimes happens. You're just fucking hanging out and you're like, let's write a couple of songs that don't go with any of our current projects. And then, but what was it that persuaded you to be like, okay, let's come up with a name for it. It's a band now, and let's write Oh No and Too Late Now and get it going.
I'm sure for a lot of people that's a really easy, straightforward question. But I feel like for us, I think we started the band as okay, we've given up on music now. Let's start a band, a kind of band, which sounds weird. But yeah, I think with the solo stuff, I think I really wanted to do music out of not really knowing what I wanted to do with my life. And I was like, oh, I quite like singing, so I should probably give that a go. And then when I stopped enjoying it, I was like, Hester, please can you come on board and help me try to enjoy it? And then me and Hester started playing together. And then I was like, I enjoy this so much because I'm not trying to do anything with it and I'm just with my friends. And that's kind of why Wet Leg exists, I guess.
Yeah. Was there a point where you thought, now that we know that we're doing this, let's give ourselves a couple of guidelines or rules for what it is? Like, were there any kind of Wet Leg is definitely this and definitely not that?
Yeah, absolutely. I think one of the first rules that we made for ourselves is it's a safe space, was a rule. And like, as long as you're having fun, it's fine, was also a rule. And the minute it stops becoming fun, like, see you later, sweet potato. Is the rule.
It would be sad if Sweet Potato left because it's so good, you know? Don't go, Sweet Potato.
That is so true.
We'll talk some more soon. Let's get into the performance. Wet Leg are going to play us Wet Dream on Sirius XMU Sessions.
Side of the road, there's no one else around. You're touching yourself. touching yourself, touching yourself, touching yourself. You say, baby, do you want to come home with me? I got Buffalo 66 on DVD. You say, baby, do you want to come home with me? I got Buffalo 66 on DVD. Meet me at, count me in, 3, 2, 1, let's begin. Here we go, 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 here we go. I was in your wet dream, driving in my car. What makes you think you're good enough to think about me when you're touching yourself, touching yourself, touching yourself, touching yourself. You climb onto the bonnet, now you're licking the windscreen. I've never seen anything so obscene. It's enough to make a girl blush. It's enough, it's enough to make a girl blush. It's enough, 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 it's enough. Beat me up, count me in, 3, 2, 1, let's begin. Here we go, 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 here we go.
We're talking, that being me, Jenny Eliscu, is talking to Rhiannon and Hester from Wet Leg on Sirius XMU Sessions. And we're talking about Wet Leg's debut album, sort of. We're talking about their origin story, but also it's all happening so fast. Their self-titled debut album is coming out in April. And so although it started as we didn't even know we were having a band, once you began to amass an album's worth of songs and you knew you were going to get to make an album, how did you figure out what you wanted it to sound like? And what were some of the, for lack of a better term, influences that came to bear once you were doing the actual recording?
I wouldn't really say that we tried to make it sound like anything. I think it all happened so quick, and I don't think that I ever thought that I could be involved in a band that wrote an album. Like, it just seemed like this big, impossible thing that, like, no, like, maybe, like, yeah, I'd love to do that. I'll put that on my bucket list, but I never thought that we would actually do it. So I think when we went into it, we were so, I mean, I guess I'd say that we probably felt quite underprepared, but actually we did it. So it was just a weird time.
Do you feel like more, I mean, I guess I would say being prepared comes in many forms. Like, some people are prepared with know-how and like the sort of, I know how the work is going to go part of it. And other people are prepared with the songs or aspects of the talent, that they have without the experience yet. So, rest assured that, no, it's like no one is prepared fully. No one has all of the boxes ticked when they're just starting to you're figuring out as you go. But what you have that's very strong is these songs that made an impact so immediately that, I'm sure even though you're like kind of confused and amused by the success, it's also like, this doesn't happen for songs every day, with friends who have bands, and you're like, wow, this is really, all these things are happening that don't always happen. So I do hope that, even though we're still now at the beginning of this first album coming out, that, now, yeah, you can make an album. You're gonna do it again. You're gonna do it again.
Yeah, I think making the second album will be able to be a lot more kind of calculated with everything. But maybe that's a bad thing. Maybe it's good that we were just like, here's an album, because that's kind of how it happened. I think we'll have a lot less fear and a lot more confidence in ourselves the next time round.
Right on. Let's get back into the music. Wet Leg are going to play a couple in a row for us, starting with, this exclusive version of Chaise Longue.
on Sirius XMU Sessions.
I changed my mind again. I'm not sure if this is a song, I don't even know what I'm saying. Everything is going wrong, I think I changed my mind again. And I'm not sure if this is the kind of life that I saw myself living. I don't need no dating app to tell me if I look like crap, to tell me if I'm thin or fat, to tell me should I shake my back. I don't need no radio, no MTV, no BBC. I just need a Bible that can set me on a higher path. Drive downtown a little maybe it's too late now. Track somehow like, oh my God, this world is pretty old. Now we go holding hands, take a breath, this up and take it down. Too late now, track somehow like, oh my God, this world is pretty harrowing. Drive my car into the sea. I'm gonna drive downtown a little pretty but it's too late now. Track somewhere like, oh my God, this world is pretty harrowing. Down we go, holding hands. If I put this up and take it down, too late now. Track somewhere like, oh my God, this world is pretty harrowing. Now everything is going wrong. I think I changed my mind again. Not sure if this is a song. I don't even know what I'm saying. Everything is going wrong. I think I changed my mind again. I just need a bubble bath to set me on a higher path.
Hey, it's Jenny Eliscu on Sirius XMU Sessions with Wet Leg. I'm chatting with Rhiannon and Hester.
Let's talk about your cover of Madonna's Material Girl for this episode of Sirius XMU Sessions, which I just love. And one of the things I love about it is that it's a little bit lethargic, but I mean that as a compliment. It's a little bit sort of like annoyed. And tell me about just your relationship with Madonna's music and sort of what you love about this song.
I think we're like quite early on when we were, well, not quite early on, but like in the middle of it all, when we were staying in South London and we were kind of like trying to get our songs up to scratch. We watched a documentary on YouTube that like had Madonna in it, and she's like a bit of a powerhouse, isn't she? So I think there's like that little link there. I don't know, it kind of had like a bit of an impact on me.
Yeah, because you hadn't really just like as a kid, like, yeah, Madonna was just sort of like, you're like, yeah, Madonna, and we know like a virgin, I get it. But you had never really focused on what's so impressive about her before.
Yeah, so it was really interesting because, like, yeah, exactly as you say, I'd never really seen that side of her because my era of Madonna was, kind of like early 2000s. So it was interesting to see like 80s Madonna. It's quite inspiring, but also quite scary.
Your era of Madonna would have been right around the Britney VMA's Kiss on stage.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I love that the story that they told about that afterward to like Madonna told her daughter or something was like, it's like there's something intergenerational, the mommy kissing the daughter or the pop star mommy kissing the or something was apparently the story goes the way Madonna told her daughter, Lourdes, what the deal was with her and Britney kissing was this like bestowing of through the magic spirit of the kiss or something, which I mean, amazing, I say.
Wow. I love that. I wonder if I'll ever get to tell my daughter, if I ever have one, a similar story about us kissing younger Wet Leg.
I believe in that future for all of us. Let's listen to Wet Leg covering Madonna. And thank you so much, Rhiannon and Hester, for connecting to talk.
Thanks so much
Nice to see you again.